Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sports Blitz here, and we're back with another NFL mock draft. Before we get into it, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And yeah, so today we are going to be doing a two-round mock draft. We are including trades. Now keep in mind, guys, I didn't like premeditate on these trades. It's just kind of off the top of my head as the mock draft goes along. So I know a lot of the value in the trades aren't going to be, exactly perfect, but you get you get the point. So let's go ahead and get on into it. So number one, I don't see really any way that the Jags are able to trade out of the spot. I don't really see that anyone's necessarily worth trading up to number one. So we're going to take Aiden Hutchinson, and then the Lions will go ahead and take KT. Top two edge rushers are off the board here, and the Texans go ahead and take, I'm going to say Kyle Hamilton right here. Number four, the Jets are on the board, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go Jermaine Johnson again. I know a lot of people hate how high I am on Jermaine Johnson. Guys, all I've got to say is just wait and see with him, okay? This is a guy that could very well possibly end up being the best edge rusher in the entire draft. His mechanics are extremely similar to Von Miller, and like a Hassan Reddick type of guy. He's just an absolute playmaker. I think he's the best pure pass rusher in this draft. So, guys, hold off on your criticism for Jermaine Johnson. I really think a lot of you guys will like him once he starts, playing. At number five, the Giants go ahead and take Evan Neal. And then number six, I think we're going to try to set up our first trade here. Panthers, this is kind of a tough spot because they really need a quarterback. And I hear that they're really, really high on both Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett. But they also don't have a second, third, or fourth round pick. And they need some more value. I wouldn't say they're quite a quarterback away, but a quarterback is definitely one of their bigger needs. So I don't think they should try to trade out of the top 10. What we're going to do is the Seahawks are going to trade up to number 6 for the Panthers because there is a top tackle available that the Seahawks would love to jump both the Giants and the Falcons for. Plus, I mean, it's very possible that the Panthers would take this tackle right here as well. So I think it makes sense. So we're going to try to make it fair for both sides. Where it's only 3 spots, I don't know. Let's see if we can get the 41st pick. Saying that's very likely. See if the Panthers can send back like a 6th rounder. Okay. So the Seahawks essentially send... So they essentially swap first round picks, and then the Seahawks send their later second round pick for Panthers 6th. So we're going to send that offer. Panthers accepted it. So then the Seahawks right here are going to go ahead and take Icky, who I'm a really big fan of. In my last few mock drafts, I've had him fall a little bit just because I see a lot of teams in here taking top defensive players. Plus the Seahawks very well could go quarterback, to be honest. But again, I don't know what they're going to do. Obviously, they haven't had to draft a quarterback early on since getting Russell Wilson, so it's really hard to say if they would take one first round. But I think where they're probably going to lose Dwayne Brown in free agency, they really need a tackle on both sides. So I think Akeem Ekwonu is a perfect player right there. They still have one of their second round picks. So I think it's a good situation for them. That they were really the only team in the top 10 that really made sense for me to trade up. And the Panthers really, I think, were the only team that made sense to trade down. So I think that's kind of a good trade there. 7, the Giants are on the board here. And where Icky just came off the board, I mean, let's be honest, the Giants have 2 good tackles already. They've got Andrew Thomas and Evan Neal. Andrew Thomas actually played really well this last year. I've seen a lot of arguments from Giants fans saying that they should take Icky as well. And I'd say, yeah, he can probably be a really good guard in the NFL, but do you really want to take a, a tackle to put him at guard at 7 overall? I don't know. Unless you're getting like a Quentin Nilsson type of guard, well, of that level, I'm not sure you want to do that. So the Giants no longer have that option. So right here, we're going to go ahead and give them Trayvon Walker from Georgia. And then the Falcons are now on the board. This kind of puts them in a tough spot because the top 4 edge rushers are off the board. Part of me kind of still wants to go Sauce Gardner just because, I mean, Casey Hayward's kind of in the tail end of his career. He did only sign a 2-year contract. Ahmad Gardner would definitely be the future along with AJ Terrell, but they also really, really need a wide receiver. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to give the Falcons, I'm going to give them Garrett Wilson. I think Garrett Wilson would be a really good fit there in, I just forgot the head coach's name. I don't know. It was the head coach that they hired from the Titans. I just completely forgot his name. But I think he'd be a really good fit in his system. So yeah, they get their number 1 wide receiver. Number 9, the Panthers are now on the board, and okay. If you look back at last year, Scott Fitterer, the Panthers GM, I believe there were 5 trades that he made on draft day. I could very well see him wanting to maybe trade back again, but looking at these kind of next few teams, I'm not sure that there's really any trade here that makes a ton of sense, unless you want to maybe argue like maybe the Ravens trading up for Sauce Gardner, or maybe even the Texans trading up for him. He's probably a guy worth trading up. I'm not sure if it's going to come down to something like that, though. I don't know if they're going to trade back twice in the first round. So I think what we're going to do is the Panthers just go ahead and take their quarterback and go Malik Willis. Number 10, the Jets are on the board. They've been very vocal in wanting a new wide receiver. They were very active in wanting to trade for Tyreek Hill. In fact, I actually thought they'd get Tyreek Hill over the Dolphins, but obviously that didn't happen. I saw a rumor this morning that they're keeping an eye on potential trades for DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, surprisingly. I didn't know AJ Brown was being potentially shopped. Guys like that. So I think it's pretty clear that the Jets want a really good wide receiver. I think what we're going to do right here, I think we're going to go Drake London. But guys, again, I cannot stress this enough. Do not sleep on Treylon Burks, okay? I really think Burks is going to be a good receiver in the NFL. I know he's not going to be, excuse me, I know he's not going to be quite a DK Metcalf, because he doesn't have that insane speed, but he can go up and get the ball. I'd argue he's possibly even a better route runner than DK Metcalf, so there's definitely that side of it too. So then here at number 11, the Commanders are on the board, and I think right here we've got to go Sauce Gardner. I don't really see a way that they pass up on him right here. I mean, he in my opinion is the obvious number one corner in this draft. Um, that said, though, don't sleep on Derek Stingley either. I know it's been a while since he's really been fully healthy, but when he is healthy, the dude is he's nuts. He was a star corner at LSU. I think he can translate that into the NFL. So don't sleep on Derek Stingley. But that said, Sauce Gardner is my number one corner, and he goes to the Commanders because they really need to improve their secondary. So number 12, the Vikings are on the board, and I think they go ahead and snag Derek Stingley. Top two corners go back to back right here. Number 13, the Texans are on the board, and I think we're gonna honestly go ahead and go with Jordan Davis. He, as you guys know by now, he blew up the combine. It was talked about a lot. Like he broke multiple combine records. He had an insane performance. He was a guy that I really liked even before that. I liked him in the top 25 picks, and not really a lot of people were talking about him as much. I saw a lot of people letting him fall into the second round, even mid to late second round, and I just didn't understand it. So seeing him blow up the combine and get more talk that way really made me happy. So I think there's a real possibility he could go 13 to the Texans here. So with that said, the Ravens are now on the board. They're probably in a spot where they're wishing they would have tried to trade with the Panthers to get Sauce Gardner. But there's also a guy like Andrew Booth available. I really like Andrew Booth. He he struggles against like really big body receivers like Mike Evans. But really looking in that division, the big body receivers you have are obviously Chase Claypool. Jamar Chase isn't like huge, but he's a physical receiver. You got T. Higgins, who is 6'4". I think that's all of the bigger body receivers in that division. So I mean, if the Ravens want to risk that, they could go Andrew Booth. I don't know that Trent McDuffie is going to do much better against those bigger body receivers. And I think overall, Booth does better against. I guess what I'm saying is overall, I think Booth would be a better pick for them. Devontae Wyatt's also an option too, but I don't like him quite this high. I like Jordan Davis quite a bit more. And well, he's off the board. I don't like Devontae Wyatt in the top 15. Maybe not even in the top 20. I'd say kind of in the range of like 21 to 28 type of range. So yeah, I think we're going to go with Andrew Booth right here. Number 15, the Eagles are on the board. I think they go ahead and snag Trent McDuffie first. The reason for that is, well, the top three corners are already off the board. They really want a good corner to pair up with Darius Slay. So there they go. Next, we're going to go ahead and have them take... I think we're going to go with Devin Lloyd right here. He's my number one linebacker in this draft. All you guys know that I'm really high on Devin Lloyd. Excuse me. I think a lot of people are a lot lower on him than I am, but I've watched a lot of his tape. I really like what I see. And I've watched his actual tape too, not just, highlights. Like his actual tape itself, he looks like a smart linebacker. I know his combine, like 40 time and everything didn't look too great, but he looks a lot faster on the field. He flies around, makes plays. I think he's going to be good for that Eagles defense. But number 17, the Chargers end up with Charles Cross. 18, the Saints are on the board. And I'm going to go ahead and have them take... I'm going to give them Jameson Williams again. I think him and Jameis Winston would be a really good pair up. And then 19, the Eagles are on the board. I think here is where we're going to have Devontae Wyatt go. Or actually, well, okay, my argument is I don't know if Fletcher Cox is going to be there this next year. He's getting older. He was almost gone this offseason. They kind of had to re-sign him to a cheaper deal. So I'm not sure if they'd go there or if they want a wide receiver. I mean, where you've got guys like Chris Olave, Jahan Dotson, obviously Burks still is on the board. Where you've got guys like that available, it's definitely an option. Let me see what the Eagles' next pick is. Let me just a second here. Just gonna set up that. I'm not gonna do an actual trade. So pick 51 is their next pick. What wide receivers do we think are available? Sky Moore could very well be available. Christian Watson might be available. I really like Calvin Austin. So I think they've got a few options at wide receiver. Whereas for D-line, I don't think Perrion Winfrey is available at 51. I do like Travis Jones, so he may be an option. I think it'd be better right here, though, to go with Devontae Wyatt and then go wide receiver with their second rounder. And then 20, the Steelers are on the board. It seems like I always get an angry Steelers fan, an angry Steelers fan in my comments. So, guys, I know I'm not going to please all of you. I'm going to go Trevor Penning. Whether you guys like it or not, this dude is going to be a stud tackle in the NFL. The Steelers want to rebuild that offensive line because really from I think it was probably 2014 all the way through 2018, the Steelers had one of, I'd say probably top 3 offensive line in the NFL. It was incredible, and I think that's what they're trying to rebuild. And Penning can be that franchise cornerstone at tackle. So, whether you Steelers fans like it or not, I think that's a real possibility. 21, for the Patriots, we're going to have them go with Chris Olave. I really like him in that system. And the Packers are on the board. I'm going to go ahead and go with George Karlaftis right here. Help fill in the void that Zadarius Smith left. 23, the Cardinals are on the board. I think we're going to go... Yeah, we're still going to go corner. I really don't know that the Cardinals could go anywhere besides corner or edge. So I'm going to go Kaiir Elam, another guy that, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know that this dude doesn't get the love he deserves. He's a beast. Simply put, he's fast, he's lengthy, he's a smart corner. He doesn't flinch much on double moves. Yeah, he's a smart corner. So I think he'd be a really good corner for the Cardinals to pick up there. 24, I think this time, I think we're going to have the Cowboys take Zion Johnson. Linderbaum is definitely another option. I really like Linderbaum, and I think he will honestly put on 10 to 15 pounds before the season. So he'll be a little bit bigger, but currently his size may draw a couple teams away. But that said, I think the Bills really have a need on the interior offensive line. So I think Linderbaum may be the pick for the Bills here. You could argue maybe Traylon Burks as well, or even Jahan Dotson. But I think Linderbaum has to be the pick. I think they really need to fix the offensive line so they can run the ball better, because they're one of the worst teams at running the ball right now, and well, it's going to continue to make Josh Allen's job more and more difficult. So 26, the Titans are on the board, and I'm going to go ahead and give them, with the rumors of A.J. Brown plus releasing Julio Jones, and really not having anybody decent behind them, I think wide receiver is a real possibility here. So I'm going to go ahead and have them take Traylon Burks. 27, the Bucks are on the board. And let's see. This is an interesting one, because this is one that if Brady were to retire again after this season and be completely done, they could get Kenny Pickett, and it would get real scary there for the Bucks. I think they're set at safety. Obviously, they've got Antoine Winfield as well as Logan Ryan. So they don't need safety. Their edge is totally fine. Their linebackers, I think, are fine. I think it's got to be either between Jahan Dotson or Kenny Pickett. And I think it's really a matter of, is Brady going to retire after this season, or is he not? That's a tough one, because I don't really see anybody else that'd be really worth the Bucks pick right here. Unless maybe you want to go Kenyon Green and fill the hole that, I think it was Ali Marpet, I believe, that retired. You could do that maybe. I don't know. I think the Bucks are still stacked enough at wide receiver. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I want to do this, but I kind of want to have them take Kenny Pickett. I don't know. I could also see Brady playing for multiple more years, so I don't see them taking necessarily, because last year they took Kyle Trask at the end of the second round, and then taking another quarterback here in the first round just for Brady to play for 3 more years. I don't know. You know what? Let's go ahead and have them take Kenyon Green. Because I don't believe they signed an interior offensive lineman to replace Ali Marpet. I believe is the guard that retired for them. So yeah, we'll go Kenyon Green right here. Then the Packers are on the board. Let's go ahead and this time go with Jahan Dotson. I don't think I need to explain that one. I think it makes perfect sense. Chiefs here. Ooh, no more top wide receivers on the board anymore, so this is kind of tough for them. I think we're going to go ahead and have them go Boye Mafe. And then with their next pick, I think they've got to go with Daxton Hill. Bengals right here. I think they've got to go with Nakobe Dean. I think that makes the most sense. Perrion Winfrey's definitely an option, but I think their D-line's good enough right now. 32, I can't pass up on this. Lions take Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh. I don't see Kenny Pickett falling out of the first round. In fact, I don't know if he even falls this far in the first round. I don't know that I've ever had a draft like this that he falls this far, but really I see if he doesn't go to the Panthers. Okay, so let me explain it. Okay, so the Seahawks traded up for a tackle. The Falcons didn't take quarterback. The Panthers took Malik Willis. The Commanders decided to pass on Pickett as well. Going forward, the Steelers, they decided to fix the O-line instead of going with Kenny Pickett. They're a real possibility for Pickett right there, but in this scenario, they ended up not taking him. So in that case, I don't see any of these other teams before then wanting to take a quarterback. So yeah, Kenny Pickett, if those other teams don't take him, he could very well end up to the Lions. It'd be interesting. But the Jags are on the board. They spent so much in free agency. It was kind of hilarious, actually. But I'm going to go ahead and have them take Jaquan Brisker. I like him more than Lewis Cine. The Lions are on the board. Looking back at it, it probably would have been smarter to have the Lions take Jaquan Brisker so the Jags, wouldn't be able to take him and have, they'd have to take someone else. And then the Lions could take Kenny Pickett right here. But, oh well, we usually don't think too far ahead for the picks. But instead, the Lions right here. I think we're going to go ahead and have the Lions take Perrion Winfrey. The Jets are now on the board, and I'm going to go ahead and give them, let's see, I think I'm going to give them Lewis Cine. Giants now on the board, and they already got their tackle and edge. I think let's go with, Christian Harris. He's my number 3 linebacker. Now the Texans are on the board. They need an edge rusher. They're going to go David Ojabo. Now, I know what you guys are all thinking. There's no way in hell David Ojabo is going to fall this far, right? Like, he was originally projected a top 15 pick. That injury is a really serious injury. A lot of teams are going to be intimidated by that, because that's an injury that can get re-aggravated very easily. If he's not careful, it's an injury that affects a lot of players' careers if they get it. So that's why Ojabo is falling this far. But if he does get through the injury concerns, he'll be a great player, and honestly a steal for the Texans right there. 38, the Jets are on the board, and I think we go ahead and let's see. Honestly, I think we might go Kenneth Walker right here. Yeah, pair him up with Michael Carter and even Tevin Coleman. I really like that 3-headed monster at running back. It kind of it's kind of fitting too, because Robert Saleh is the head coach, but it reminds me a lot of the 2019 49ers. They had a really, really stacked offensive line, and then just a 3-headed monster at running back with Raheem Mostert, Jeff Wilson, and I think Tevin Coleman. Now you get, for the Jets, a much better offensive line, Kenneth Walker, Tevin Coleman, and Michael Carter. I really like that. I think that's an awesome tandem. 39 for the Bears. I'm gonna go ahead and give them Tyler Smith. Really, really help build the offensive line. Obviously, they lost James Daniels in free agency, so he's a good player to fill that void. All right, so then for the Seahawks, they're able to get the quarterback here that they passed up on for trading up for Icky. I'm gonna go with Sam Howell. I'm higher on him than Desmond Ritter. Now I'll be honest. Desmond Ritter is kind of coming around to me a little bit more. I do like his mobility. That definitely helps, but I think he's a couple years out of being a good starter in the NFL. I do like him more than Matt Corral. I'll say that much. Matt Corral is my number 5 quarterback, whereas Desmond Ritter's 4. Obviously, Sam Howell is 3. So, I mean, yeah, you could consider any of those 3 if they're available right here, but I think they've got to go Sam Howell. 41, the Panthers are on the board, and let's see. I'm really intrigued actually by Arnold Pickett. He's definitely an option. I think their cornerback room is going to be fine. Um, let's see. I could see them going with Jalen Petre. So I do need another safety, and I hear they're wanting to put Jeremy Chin back at linebacker. So there's that. DeMarvin Leal is definitely an option too. I don't know who to have them take right here. This is a tough one. Man, I don't know who to have them take. Maybe Jamari Salyer to fill their last interior offensive line spot, or even Sean Ryan. I didn't even see that he was available right here. Yeah, maybe Sean Ryan. Because really, right now, the Panthers O line consists of Brady Christensen at left tackle, who I think will be really good. Um, they've kind of got that weird spot at left guard that they need replaced. Right now, it's probably going to be Pat Elflein. Then they've got Bradley Bozeman at center, Austin Corbett at right guard, and Taylor Moton at right tackle. I'd say I'm comfortable with everywhere there except for left guard. So maybe Sean Ryan would be the pick and have him play at left guard. Because yeah, they've been very vocal about wanting to fix that O line, and this would be a very good way to do so. Yeah, I think we're going Sean Ryan right here from UCLA. Then the Colts are on the board now, and part of me wants to go quarterback right here, go either Desmond Ritter or Matt Corral, but they also traded for Matt Ryan, and I don't know how much longer Matt Ryan's going to play for, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Colts fans, I believe you guys already extended him too, didn't you? I'm not sure on that. Part of me really wants to have them go quarterback though. Cuz I mean, you could rock with Matt Ryan for a year or two and then go Desmond Ritter or even Matt Corral. Really either one I think would be a solid fit there for the Colts. I think let's go Desmond Ritter. Again, yeah, he's going to be a year or two out of, being a good starter, but he doesn't need to start right now because they've got Matt Ryan. I think this is definitely a good move for the future. 43, the Falcons are on the board. And, well, speaking of Matt Ryan, they need to fix their, I guess get their future quarterback. But instead of doing that right now, they're going to go with Arnold Bigte, the best edge available. I think they're going to want to rebuild the rest of the roster and get it, competitive before getting, the that quarterback to set them over the top. So 44, the Browns are on the board, and well, they got Deshaun Watson, so that's going to be scary in and of itself. They also got Amari Cooper, so that was crazy. They did have to release Jarvis Landry, though, so wide receiver's definitely an option. They're good at running back. Obviously, they've still got Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. I think we're gonna go with Sky Moore, actually. I think he makes the most sense right here. Pair him up with Amari Cooper. I think that's a good receiving core. Then you've got the Ravens on the board here. I think we go Kyler. No, never mind. They went corner first round, so never mind. So I think in that case, we go ahead and go to Marvin Leal. Or Leal. I still don't know if it's Leal or Leal. I've always called him Leal, but I've heard a lot of other people calling it Leal. So I don't know. 46, the Vikings go ahead and take Jalen Petre from Baylor. He had a really good combine performance. I was really impressed. 47, Washington is now on the board, and they go Christian Watson, get Carson Wentz. A good weapon right there to go along with Terry McLaurin. Sorry, I couldn't think of his name at first. So then the Bears are now on the board. I'm not super confident in their running back core. I mean, yeah, they've got David Montgomery, but who do they have, along with Montgomery? Okay, so never mind on that. I forgot they had Khalil Herbert. So never mind. They're not going to go running back. They could very well use a tackle. I think we're going to go Bernard Raymond right here. He had a solid combine performance. And I think he's the best tackle available that can help Justin Fields. The reason I'm not going Daniel Falele is he'll be a solid run blocking tackle, but I'm not confident in him as a pass blocker against like the speed rushers, the Brian Burns, the Von Millers, the Hassan Reddicks, guys like that. I think all those guys can just outspeed him and put a quick spin move on him and get around him. And I don't think that's going to help Justin Fields as much. I think Bernard Raymond is a better tackle against speed rushers. So I think that'll really help Justin Fields. Because Fields can usually get out of pressure against like the bigger guys, but the speed rushers kind of make it difficult. 49, the Saints are on the board. I think they go ahead and draft the replacement for Jameis Winston if they don't end up, or if he doesn't end up working out. Just because I don't know that they're going to be in a position to really draft a quarterback high up next year. Just because they've still got a really good defense, still got a good offensive line. If Jameis doesn't work out this year, they can immediately plug in Matt Corral and don't have to worry about, a really bad losing season to get their quarterback. So then the Chiefs are on the board here, and they go ahead and go. Let's see. There's a few guys we could go here. I think it's got to be wide receiver regardless. I'm not super high on David Bell. He did not look good at the combine. I think let's go George Pickens. I think George Pickens is the pick. And then for the Eagles, they weren't able to get a receiver in the first round, so they go with Calvin Austin here. Calvin Austin was flying at the combine. In fact, honestly, I think he got kind of screwed with his 40 time. I think he ran it faster than what they gave him credit for, but he was flying around. He plays a lot bigger than he really is. Um, I know him and Devontae Smith would make for a really small receiving or a really small wide receiver duo, but they're both really fast, really good route runners, and both play a lot bigger than they really are. So I really like the idea of that. 52, the Steelers go ahead and snag Kyler Gordon right here from Washington. The Packers go ahead and get Quay Walker from Georgia. Then the Patriots are on the board. They go ahead and actually get their J.C. Jackson replacement in Tariq Woolen. Now the Cardinals are on the board. They go ahead and get Cam Thomas, replace their edge. Now the Cowboys are on the board, and they go ahead and get Roger McCreary, pair him up with Trayvon Diggs, and I really like that cornerback duo. 57, the Bills are on the board. That kind of put them in a tough spot because they wanted a corner, but instead we're going to go ahead and give them Breece Hall. Breece Hall, I hear, is actually getting a lot of talk of possibly being a first rounder. So where he could realistically even go to the Bills in the first round, falling clear to them in the second round is actually insane for the Bills. So that'd be awesome for them. Then for the Falcons, gonna go ahead and give them. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and give them Chad Muma. I really like him out of Wyoming. Or actually, no, I forgot Damon Clark was still. Isn't he? I don't. Holy crap. Why? Okay. You guys see Damon Clark right here from LSU. They have him clear at 176. Guys, Damon Clark is my number 4 linebacker. For me, it goes Devin Lloyd, Nakobe Dean, what was his name? Christian Harris, and then Damon Clark. I don't know how the Draft Network has him this low. I don't think many other teams have him this low. I'm going to go based off who I think is the best, and I think that's Damon Clark. Again, I don't know how he is this far down, but I like him a little bit more than Chad Muma. Yeah, that's crazy, though. But I think he'd be an absolute playmaker for the Falcons. 59, the Packers are on the board, and I'm going to go ahead and give them. I think I'm going to go ahead and give them Travis Jones from UConn. He looked really good at both the Senior Bowl and I'm not sure if he actually went to the Combine. I don't remember really seeing him, but he looked really good at the Senior Bowl. So there's that. I really like Travis Jones there. 60, the Bucks are on the board, and they went interior line earlier. I think with the real possibility of them not being able to resign Leonard Fournette, they could go running back right here. I think we're going to go ahead and do that and give them Isaiah Spiller. 61, the 49ers are on the board. And I'm going to go ahead and give them. Let's see. What corners are still available? Dude, Darian, that's kind of a big drop off for me. I think let's go Jamari Salyer. They do need a guard to replace Laken Tomlinson. I think that's a good replacement. Jamari Salyer. 62, the Chiefs are on the board, and they go ahead and this time go with Chad Numa. Then the Bengals are on the board. I don't believe they ever got their right tackle. I know they got. Um, okay, so I was mistaken. So it was their right tackle that they got in Niall Collins, but they don't have a great left tackle. Right now, their left tackle is Jonah Williams, who I'm not super confident in, to be honest. So I think we can go with Daniel Falele right here and have him go at left tackle. Then lastly, the Broncos, last pick of the second round, we'll go ahead and have them go. I think we'll have them go Trey McBride because they did lose Noah Fant in the Russell Wilson trade. So overall, there's my 2-round mock draft. I know there's going to be so many of you guys that are angry about it in the comments section. There always is, but that's okay. No mock draft is 100% accurate. I get that. I bet over half of these picks are going to be wrong. But we do this for fun. But yeah, guys, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Later.